welcome back to my channel. This is the Motorcycle Rescuer, and I am the Motorcycle Rescuer. I've came out really early on a Sunday morning because I just wanted some kind of alone time actually, where it's dead quiet and I can get on with things gently. Yesterday's video I was quite disappointed with, if I'm being honest. I was editing away in the evening and it was over an hour long. It just didn't achieve anything, and I was, in my head, I was going to hear two running and charging bikes yesterday, and that would have fueled me. But sadly, we didn't. I absolutely have in my head. There's nothing more I can do with this one. Either the actual rebuild has gone wrong, which I really don't think it has. Did it myself. I did the ring spacing, absolutely spot on, and I compressed the rings perfectly. I'm sure the compression and top end is fine, and I'm dead set that I'm just not doing the timing right. So I'm going to pop the plug out today and use something to tell me where the top dead center really is, and then I'm going to set the valves, set the timing, do it all properly, and give it another shot. But that's kind of as far as I can go. I can tip a little bit of oil down there in case the bedding in rings have gone a touch funny. I don't think they will have though. I can also put a touch of petrol down there to kind of help it fire, help the rings bed in. If it starts, then it will all kind of sort itself out. So there is a couple of bits I'm going to do today, but this is really why I've come out extra early. This is Knacker's Yard, Kawasaki zl600. I had this bike first and it was an absolute wreck, guys. It was all over the place. And then I had no luck with it. I mean, I had it started and running and I could ride it, but it was crap. It just wasn't happy. I got it to Nat in the end on his channel. He did a brilliant job, guys. He did the works on it and he got it running and riding perfectly. I just think we both missed a tiny piece of the puzzle, and I think it's the valves. I think it's valve adjustment. So I'm going to attempt again to do them. I think I did them wrong last time. I think I've got an online manual that shows me how to do them better, I think. But this isn't my strong point, guys. Valves and really it's about knowing the system. Basically, there'll be a way of setting the valves up, setting the actual drive chain up, to then do a certain amount of valves. So you might have like one here, or one and two here, and then one here and one there, and then you have to turn it all again and do the others. You have to find that system, and that's what's been bothering me, but I think I've got that now on my phone, I think. And other than that, these crap Chinese coils, I think, have been messing us around the whole time. So yeah, so I'm gonna kind of try today, see how we go. I'd like for this, I'd love to hear this bike running. It would really make my weekend, and it deserves it. This bike should be on the road. It needs to be on the road full time now. So I'm going to play around. The first thing I need to do is get this top cover off again. I'll pop the spark plugs out so we can spin the engine a bit easier as well. It is just these 6 bolts. There isn't 2 on the inside, I believe, but you do have to take at least one of these off, this one, because then you can't get the cover off. So pop the spark plugs, 6 bolts on the top. You have to take this off to then slide the cover out. It's all a bit tight up there. So that's the first start of this, and then I'm going to see if on the end of the cams, if they have any markings. That's the bit I missed last time. They should have a line and a line, and then I think that's how we'll work out where we are. So let's get started and see what happens from there. So last time when I did this, guys, a piece of the puzzle I missed was under the gasket cover. So look, see these notches? There's a notch there and a notch there. they need to be facing each other or facing away. Facing each other or facing away. So we need to look into that. So let's try and get this lined up. Now, how did I spin the engine last time? That's an interesting one. What did I do? I guess I can put it into gear, can't I, and move it? Oh no, did I do it from that side? Oh yeah, I can spin it from there. Yeah, so get the notches lined up, and then when the notches are lined up, oh, there's only notches on the other side, so that's good really, because that sorts out both sides. That's when I'll know what ones I need to be doing and what the specs are. So I'll catch you up on that in a minute. Okay guys, I think I've come across our fundamental problem. Okay, I think it's solved. Look at the notches. Have a close look. This bike has jumped a tooth, or was set incorrectly. But when I opened this up, the chain wasn't tight enough for me. It's jumped a tooth, guys. It's definitely jumped a tooth. Right, so you see this line needs to come down one, so this chain needs to come across one, this cog needs to come across one. Problem is, to get to that, it's right down there, the tensioner. It's hard to get to. So we've got a couple of things going on here. No point doing the valves now. This is the lineup we were looking for. It would be this tooth facing that line, this tooth on that line, and then you would do the valves. But of course it's out of time, so that's really interesting. I wonder when that happened. Also, I need to look at the chain tensioner, don't I, to see if it's working or not, and maybe even put in a manual one just for convenience. So yeah, problem is for me, this airbox and carbs are a pain in the arse, and ideally I do need to move them back a touch to get down to the cam chain tensioner. I'm gonna see if I can get in there. I can't. Can you even see it? I can't even see it. Let's try. So it's in there, guys. It's that there. That's. I don't know what that part does. I wonder if that part. I wonder if I can pop that off, and if that will let me loosen it. Normally you have to take the whole thing off to loosen it, but that might give me access to something that will wind it in. That I'm gonna pop that off, guys, and see if that gives me a slot to put a flathead in, and see if that winds it in. I need to turn this whole cog that way one. It needs to go that way one. But then more importantly, the tensioner needs to then actually take the tension off the chain. So interesting. It's a tough one, isn't it? It really is a tough one. From this side, you'd think, look, you see that one's up there, that one's up there. They look kind of at the same side. Even the circles, see that circle there, and that circle there. They look the same kind of angle. We've got straight line there, straight line there. But so I can straighten these lines up, but they wouldn't be in line with the cam lines themselves. These ones, that notch there and that notch there. But is it that this one's off one tooth, or is it that that one's off one tooth? In fact, no. Well, it wouldn't matter, would it? I have no idea, guys. Alright, I'm going to try and my best and do something here. Let me pop that screw off and see if that gives me any access to loosening the cam chain tensioner at this stage. Okay guys, taking the bolt out and the spring has loosened the tension. You can see that there, look. So I'm now able to spin the cam. Tightening that back in should take up the slack. So it should be as simple as, I say that, I always say that, and it's way too early. I need to turn this round one. Obviously it's quite hard to do by hand, but I need to turn this one cog, and then they need to line up. So let me work on that. So guys, it took a while. I had to take the whole lobe off in the end to spin it, but you can see it's now in time. The notches face each other. My slight concern is I don't know if I've put the cam chain tensioner back in, but I don't know if it's really doing anything. I'm going to spin this chain around, of course, full circle a couple of times and see how it sits. I don't know. It's not right for me. It doesn't seem right. The other thing I might need to do is throw up the gazebo soon. It's either going to rain or snow, and that'd be a right pain. But yeah, it bothers me. I don't know about this cam chain tensioner, and it's such a pain in the arse to get to. I'd feel much better having got down to it. But let me spin it around. If it seems solid and it goes around a couple of times and it's all good, then we just have to go with, you know, with the flow and our instincts. So I'm going to do that by hand. So guys, honestly it span great. The engine feels lovely, the tension is spot on, and this is, I don't know if you can see it, snow. Good timing. Bit of snow in the engine never hurt anyone. Let me unpack that gazebo. I lay any money, it's poles and you've got to put it together. I did buy a so-called pop-up one. I bet it's not. And then we'll do the valves while we're here and ready, and then this engine will have a new lease of life, I believe. Nothing stops the motorcycle rescuer, guys. It's nice actually, it's lovely. Nice little gazebo that, if I could work out properly how to do it. Yeah, I think you just strap these down into here, but they just fall out. But that's fine. But this is lovely. Look, got a nice little setup. Key worker bike that I need to have a quick look at. I put a belt on this bike last year, and he says it's squealing a little, and he's worried about it snapping. He's just got that paranoia thing where once a belt has snapped on you, you think, oh God, it's going to go again. It's highly unlikely, guys, highly unlikely that it's gone again. But I'll give him peace of mind. I'll pop it off and I'll have a look just in case. And of course we are working on the ZL as well. Alright guys, so I'm very happy with all of that, and it's all lined up and it's all good to go. Looking at the picture, I will, I know I always say I'll upload the picture and I never do. I am going to upload the picture, but I will show you that. So it is something like these two that I do, or these four, or these two, and then one here, and then one here, and then one there. It gives you an exact of what ones you're meant to be doing while it's in this setting. And at the moment the setting it's in is facing each other on the inside, so the lines are facing each other, and then that's going to tell me what to look at, and it gives me the different settings. So I'm going to take my time and do that with the new feeler gauge. It's the same thing. You crank these open, get them to the kind of right, feel, and then do them up. But you have to do them at the right, you know, it has to be the right sequence basically. So that is what we're going to do. So I'm going to hack away at this, guys. I'm not going to film this one because I will show you the sequence online. You will see that it's from the book, so it's legit. And then you just have to kind of work it out. There's only one mark on the left side, so there's only really one way it can be. But they're kind of, it shows you them black, so it's like, I'm sure it's these two that you do first, and then one of these, and then one of them, something like that. So guys, in this setting we do all 4 exhausts, so these 2 and these 2, all 4 exhaust on this side, so all them 4, and then we do the bottom 2, either these 2 or these 2, so we're doing them and one of these 2 and one on the other side. That's it, one on the other side. And then when we move the crank around so that the lines are opposite each other, we do all 4 at the top again, and these 2, and then 2 on this side that we haven't done, if that makes sense. So that kind of does all of them. It is hard to work it out, but it is worth doing, and I think when you look at the page I'm going to show you, that it will make sense. So guys, I have to admit, I don't know how I'm doing these valves. Look, see with number 1, these 2 should be doing. I don't know when and how you adjust them, because there's different levels of heights here, depending on where the lobe is. So I'm not at my settings. It says you should adjust at your settings, but when these are facing each other, this is compressed. Yeah, so it's started compressing, which means you can't do it, otherwise you're spacing it stupidly far apart, if that makes sense. So now I've gone the opposite, I've put the lobe fully away, and that kind of seems more normal, but it's such a weird, hard system to do. I think I'm going to get the lobes fully to the other side, and then adjust them, so that one will go up to there next, and then I'll adjust it. I mean, that is kind of what I did last time, but if it had jumped the tooth and I hadn't noticed, then that would have been the issue, wouldn't it? Yeah, something like that. Alright, I think I'm going to try it like this. This is kind of my only option at this stage. We established that we'd jumped the tooth at some point, so we know that it was out of time. So maybe the valves weren't that far out last time I did them, when I did them in this way. So at its furthest distance, pointing the other way, that's when it makes most sense to adjust it. I'm not sure if that is the actual system or not, but that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Okay guys, so it is not pleasant doing this in the cold. It's really hard on your hands, but I think they are all within what they call their specs. I would say they were too loose, but you know, loose is better, guys. Even if it starts up and it's a bit, you know, tappety, then it don't matter. You know you're in the right direction, don't you? You choose the tighter feeler gauge. We pop this back off and we do it again. Yeah, it's really tough, guys, in the cold. Your hands are freezing. I mean, the gazebo's brilliant. It really is. It really, because I wouldn't have been out here doing this without this little bit of cover. So that's good, but hard work. I'm gonna put the top cover back on. I've done loads today. I'd love to hear this start, but I have no spare fuel at all. I'd need to run. Where's the fuel on? Is it that? I'd need to run some fuel down into it. I guess I can do a quick fuel run. It won't hurt. And then we need to find the firing order, don't we? So I'm going to throw the cover on, and I'd love to see kind of what's going on. This bike ran in roads not that long ago. The chain and the jumping of gears was not an issue when me or Nat had the bike, so something happened since then. Someone else has had a go, and we know that someone's messed with the carbs. We know that the new owner paid money to get the carbs done, which is a shame, because me and Nat did the carbs great. That there was never any need to spend, you know, 300 quid on them again, and then miss out the coils. It was very clear the right coil wasn't working at all, wasn't it? So let's put this top cover back on. I'll torque it down, and we will put some fuel through this thing. I'll go and get a little bit in the tank, put some fuel through, and then what? And then I guess we'll press the button just to see just to see what's going on. Although I have to admit, guys, I'm kind of over it for today. I'm freezing. I may just chuck it back in the garage and we will start fresh next week. I'll see how I feel in a little bit. Okay guys, so I've wrapped up for today. Interesting, me and Nat have been trying to work out how fuel resistant the 2K spray cans we use are. Nat, here's our answer, mate. How on earth has that leaked like that? That doesn't make sense. That is unbelievable. Yeah, so so the answer is not overly. Oh, I wonder if it's something to do with under there. What's that? I mean, this tank is fully empty, guys. I've had this tank. There's not a scratch in it. I emptied it absolutely completely. So how that's happened is beyond me. In fact, it looks like only the top coat, which would have been the actual 2K. Anyway, interesting. Not the end of the world at this stage, guys. It, you know, I can throw a quick 2K on that when it's all good and done, when that thing bloody starts up and runs. But interesting. I'm shocked. I don't know how it's happened. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. Catch you next week.